15 new LEGO sets are dropping this April, and honestly it's quite the mix. For the first time in nearly 7 years we're getting Star Wars movie tie-ins plus one set that's actually releasing early at the end of March. I'll come back to that, but first let's kick things off with the BrickHeadz theme in our first two sets. 40856, The Mandalorian and Grogu, allies and villains retain for £35 or $40 with 661 pieces. This is only one of two Mandalorian sets released on April 1st, and it includes 5 brick-built characters. Interestingly though, despite the name, there only seems to be one villain here, unless LEGO have just spoiled a pretty major plot twist. We'll have more Star Wars sets later, but up next is 40878, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures, also priced at £35 or $40 with 567 pieces. You're getting all 4 turtles here, and honestly they're exactly what you'd want from BrickHeadz. I really like the different shades of green, and the printed initials, it really helps each one stand out. It's also nice to see their signature weapons included, plus the pizza of course. Moving on from BrickHeadz, let's take a look at what's coming in the creator theme. 40954, Germany postcard, retained for £13 or $15 with 240 pieces. This is a nice niche little set featuring mini builds of famous German landmarks like Munich's new town hall as well as Brandenburg Gate. You can display the postcard in either English or German, the choice is yours. Remember that one set releasing earlier? Well, it comes from the editions theme and will hit shelves on March 28th. 43025, Nike Air Max 95, retained for £90 or $100 with 1,213 pieces and one minifigure. It looks like LEGO has shoehorned, pardon the pun, the Nike theme into editions, which actually makes sense given its history with sports. The iconic 90s sneaker is a really unique display piece and even has a hidden function. By rotating the shoe, a secret compartment opens up with a small space to store the spare minifigure head. We're moving on to the icons theme now. 11378, Douglas DC-3 Pan Am airliner, retained for £200 or $220 with 1,903 pieces and 4 minifigures. This iconic 1930s twin-engine aircraft features a detailed cockpit and passenger cabin, plus functions like retractable landing gear and rotatable propellers. The minifigures come with historically accurate aircrew uniforms and a display stand since they don't fit inside the set itself. It's an interesting choice for a set, and it would pair perfectly with the Concorde, the shuttle carrier aircraft, or even both. Next up in the ideas theme, 21367, Tintin Moon Rocket, retained for £140 or $160 with 1,283 pieces and 5 minifigures, plus Snowy. This set is seriously impressive. If it weren't for the occasional exposed stud, you'd hardly guess it was LEGO. The interior is quite limited, but the finished design is beautifully smooth with some clever engineering and stands almost half a metre tall when completed. Because of the limited internal space, a display stand is included for the minifigures. Although personally, I would have loved to see a Tintin logo on the stand, and a little space helmet for Snowy would have been a fun touch. The next set doesn't really have a theme, but it's fun nonetheless. 40871, Gift Box Celebration, retained for £18 or $20 with 224 pieces. This little set is perfect for kids' birthdays and features an interactive function behind the cake and present. By turning the handle on the side, you can bounce the happy birthday sign up and down. Before we get onto the Star Wars movie tie-in sets, we have 75438, Yoda Bus, available for £35 or $40 with 399 pieces and 1 minifigure. This one is a bit of a strange start for the new sub-theme. I don't think I'm alone in saying the overall look just doesn't quite work, and Yoda feels like an odd choice to kick things off. It's also not strictly a bust, as it actually includes part of the torso, which gives it a slightly awkward shape. Compared to Marvel, which tend to look cleaner and come with more refined display plaques, this one feels a little less polished. That said, the pricing is fairly reasonable, but if anything, that makes it feel like LEGO might already be anticipating a quieter release for this one. 75439, Darth Vader Bus, retained for £45 or $50 with 349 pieces and 1 minifigure. This one is definitely a step up visually thanks to it fully embracing the bust design. That said, I'm still not completely sold on the concept. Personally, I much prefer the helmet series, but if LEGO are going to continue with these Star Wars busts, I'd rather they focus on characters that suit the format a bit better, particularly with more heavily armoured designs. It's also a little surprising to see this priced higher than Yoda despite having fewer pieces. Granted, there are a few larger elements included, but not really enough to justify the jump in price. Back to our Star Wars movie tie-in sets with 75444, AT-RT Attack, retained for £40 or $45 with 297 pieces and 3 minifigures. This is one of 4 Mandalorian sets releasing on April 26th, and it looks great. I especially like the turret design. The minifigures are solid too, and right now this is the cheapest way to get the new Grogu mold. The price though, honestly it feels like at least 25% too high. I mean, come on LEGO, at least throw in another Imperial Remnant AT-RT driver for this price. 75445, Anzellan Starship, retained for £65 or $75 with 701 pieces and 3 minifigures. This is the second of 4 Mandalorian sets releasing on April 26th, and honestly the price isn't too bad. It's refreshing to see something new in the Star Wars theme. The minifigures are small and the ship reflects that scale, but the new Black Anzellan looks really cool. The Grogu variant in Beskar armour is a nice bonus too, while the ship has a modest interior which makes sense given the smaller figures. 75446 Grogu Mandalorian Apprentice retained for £120 or $130 with 1,200 pieces and one minifigure. This is the third of 4 Mandalorian sets releasing on April 26, and honestly it doesn't look too bad. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of brick-built creatures, I much prefer droids for example. That said, Grogu's mouth, ears, hands and fingers are adjustable, though his arms need to be reattached depending on the pose. A lever on the back rotates his head, and it's a nice touch you can display him with or without the armour. 75447 The Razor Crest retained for £140 or $150 with 930 pieces and 5 minifigures. This is the final of 4 Mandalorian sets releasing on April 26th, and you can definitely tell it's been scaled down from the previous version. The former playset was £120 for 1,023 pieces, also with 5 minifigures. As a result of this downscaling, the engines look stubbier, though the design itself is an improvement. I love the splash of yellow, but the stud shooters are too prominent for my liking, and the visible Technic on the sides looks a bit jarring. Playability seems decent with an accessible interior, cockpit and even some hidden compartments. The new Z minifigure is going to be the real draw here. 75460 New Republic X-Wing Starfighter retained for £60 or $70 with 558 pieces and 3 minifigures. This is the second of 2 Mandalorian sets releasing on April 1st, and it actually looks pretty solid for its smaller size. I really like the New Republic colour scheme, and it would look great alongside the retired New Republic E-Wing from a couple years ago. The design is quite similar to the 2021 X-Wing, especially the folding wing mechanism, but the stud shooters feel a bit clunky and out of place for my liking. Time for Super Mario and something a little more colourful with 72050 Mario Kart Luigi and Mach 8 retained for £160 or $180 with 2,234 pieces. This buildable Luigi comes with movable arms and hands, while the kart can be displayed with or without the stand. When it's off the stand, the steering can be controlled by turning the wheel, which also rotates the flames coming out of the exhaust. It's really exciting to see another massive Mario Kart set, and it makes me wonder which characters we might get at this scale in the future. Of course, Luigi looks fantastic on the shelf alongside his brother. And that wraps up all the LEGO sets releasing in April. From BrickHeadz and Creator to Star Wars, Super Mario and everything in between, there's definitely something for every type of builder this month. Which set are you most excited to get your hands on, and do you think we could get more Mario Kart sets? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.